do you want to crush the Scholar's Mate? If you're at a bit of a low elo, maybe below like 1,000 or something, you probably face the Scholar's Mate a lot. And the Scholar's Mate basically goes like this. If we're from the black pieces, we're the ones getting hit with it. We go Queen H5, and then this, and then it's checkmate in 4 moves, and a lot of beginners play this because it's easy. There's literally no theory. And it's definitely a good opening because I've seen people been like, oh, I know what the Scholar's Mate is. I'm going to block this. And then they just blunder a fork. And I've also seen people who just blunder a pawn. And a whole lot of things wrong with people playing against the Scholar's Mate because they know it's a bad opening. And even the people who play it know it's a bad opening. But it's hard to see why. Well, the reason it's bad is because this queen should get like kicked around, really. So if you want to be the Scholar's Mate, you should probably continue watching this video. It goes e4, e5, and then queen h5. Sometimes people will go bishop c4, in which you'll just do the same exact stuff until they play this queen h5 move. If they go here, you're in a different opening. You have to go somewhere else. But if they do play queen h5, then you just go knight c6 defending this pawn. They'll go bishop c4, and now they're creating just checkmate threat. Now it's very easy for beginners to overlook this and to play knight f6, but in this video you will not learn how to blunder checkmate in 1. Instead, you will learn how to crush your opponent. You're going to play g6, and now most people like to play queen f3 because now they're threatening checkmate again. I've seen people play d5, which is absolutely horrible. You should not be playing d5. I've seen people who just blunder mate in 1 anyway. But you have to play knight f6. Now the knight's defended, and it blocks the queen's sight of the f7 pawn. And now I've seen some people try g4, and I'm sure you've seen it too if you're facing somebody under 1,000 elo or something. I've seen it. I've seen it countless number of times. G4, threatening to go g5, and then, so in a hypothetical example, they want to go g5, and then they're going to get your knight to move, and then they're going to hit you with a Scholar's Mate. Modified Scholar's Mate, I should say. It's not really a Scholar's Mate. But yeah, that's what g5 is. G4 is aiming to do. Kick out the knight and make sure this queen can now see this f7 pawn again. But we don't care because, so you play g5, you lose your queen. We go knight d4, attacking the queen. We have a knight in the center, and I've seen games that go like this, and they just blunder their queen to a royal fork. And so they usually go back, and now it's good to play d5. If they take with the bishop, it's not entirely good because you have bishop g4. And now there's nowhere for this queen to move, so you have to block with this f-pawn. And then you're going to take on d5, and then you have this. If they take your bishop, you take their rook. You have 3 attackers on this pawn, while white only has 2 defenders. Easy game. So it's not good to take with the bishop. If you take with the d pawn, it's literally the same exact thing. Computer even suggests knight g4, but if you want to keep it easy, take with this. They will go f3 likely because there's nowhere for. Although you can go bishop e2, which is just, I mean, you can take with the knight. You should probably just take on d5. Attack this rook, and there's nowhere for that rook to go. If they try and go here, well, guess who's losing a piece now, right? That's just losing. If they go f3, it's pretty much same deal. You just go back, and now you're threatening this. If they go here blocking, then you have queen c6 threatening this again. It's basically game over. You just, I will assure you that white will not play the best moves here if they play the Scholar's Mate. But yeah, d5 is absolutely crushing. If they go back, bishop e2, for example, you can try and put pressure on this pawn, but more importantly, you can just take this pawn. Who cares if they take? Who cares? Take, and guess who's getting forked? Guess who's getting forked? Okay, well, that's basically it. If they don't play g4 and they play something like this, then I just play knight d4 again. Maybe they'll blunder that fork, but if they don't and they go back, then d5 is not as great because there's no g4 pawn to capture. But you can always just go bishop g7 and castle. For example, in a hypothetical world, this situation is really good. We have a knight in the center that can't be attacked. We have a bishop that maybe has some lines of open diagonals. We have a d5 pawn push always available. We have this bishop, which is blocked in by its own pawns, so you can always trap it in your territory. And this knight and bishop struggle to get out. Well, not really. They can always go out like this, but if you go here, it's questionable. It's questionable. As we've seen, white probably shouldn't be bringing their queen out so early in the game. And your plans are to just go here and trade off, really. And then you have an open rook, and this king is not about castle. Black is slightly better here. And I assure you, most of the time, not like that, most of the time they'll go queen f3, and they'll go g4, and you'll win on the spot with knight d4. I've seen so many games go like this. You just win on the spot with knight d4. Yeah, if you just remember this video, you will probably win 90% of the games that you face a Scholar's Mate. I can assure you there. So I really hope you enjoyed this video.